Hey guys, welcome to my conversation with Cass head coach, Coach Koontz. Coach, quite a run this weekend.
Yes, it was. It was definitely fun.
No, it had to be fun. I mean, honestly, like, you guys, I had you at the dark horse. You guys were sitting there. I knew you'd be really competitive with the teams, but I'll tell you what, your kids showed up and they wrestled their butts off.
No, they did a phenomenal job. And right, we would be the dark horse because we're not having the traditional season that most people are used to us having. And I mean, we lost 7 studs last year
You did,
at
yeah.
the end of the season. So and the younger kids obviously had to step up, and so there was some growing pains. I mean, we didn't win a single tournament all, what we call preseason, everything before the state tournament. And then obviously come out and they're ready for the state tournament and did a great job.
Yeah. So what was the message all week in the room leading up to the state tournament?
Well, really, it was so I know what the inaugural state duels was 2002, and Cass has been there every year except for two, I believe, and or three, because I don't think they made it in 2002. I wasn't there yet. But the fact that one, we didn't get seeded, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
you're going to use as a coach, you're going to use anything to your advantage, and knowing full well that the kids are used to being one of the top top teams and talked about and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, thank you GHSA, I guess is the best thing that I can say, because it put a little chip on their shoulder, and sometimes that's all you need, and the kids understood that for sure this past week, and that if they wanted it, they were going to have to go take it because I mean Ola beat our butt during our dual tournament over Christmas, just after Christmas. And then obviously Jefferson is a great team, so they knew
Right.
what they were going into.
Well, and you had just wrestled Woodland, so you kind of, I mean, you knew where you were. So I don't know. I was surprised you weren't. I mean, I guess you got put in the right quarter of the bracket for me. That was okay.
Yeah,
Um, uh, Drawing Harris County first seemed really odd, and it just seemed like a really good matchup to be the first one off the bat. But I guess at the end of the day, you look at it and you say, we're gonna have to win these matches anyway. So
right. And that's the one thing. I mean, the kids have been battle tested. We've gone to some really tough tournaments. So getting
mhm.
Harris, which is definitely, normally one of the top teams too, every single year. They're there, battling for it. And so, like you said, we're gonna have to go through them anyways. So might as well start your run and start with a good team.
Yeah, well, and you did start with a good team, and they got up on you guys.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and they got some pins, and you had a forfeit in there and that sort of thing. And then I don't know if you've looked back at the stats, but your 6 to 32 pounders went 17-3, 17-3 in their four duels.
Right. And that's really the heart of our lineup. So those guys, so we started at 175, which was not ideal for us, obviously.
Right, right.
The 175-pound kid, we were shoving bottles of water and biscuits down his throat so he could make 75 because we didn't have a 90. So we could, like, he's like, Coach, I'm 3 pounds under. We're like, here's some more water, son. And he's a
Oh,
first year kid. All those guys are first year kids.
oh wow.
So yeah, and then in that tournament too, like I was like, well, we couldn't start in the worst possible place other than right there, because those kids have never been to it. Everybody else has been to a state tournament with us.
Right,
Those
right.
guys never been to it, so you never know the shock and awe factor. But I mean that's 6 through 32, and I mean 38. Well, it's yeah, they're
I
it's
mean,
the
no,
heart
you
of our
still got good
lineup,
kids below that. I cut
right?
it
They're
there because
just
going 17-3 over five weight classes in four duels is, I mean,
yeah.
as pretty much as good as you get.
Right. Yeah. No, we're definitely I call it a curse here at Cass because we always have great lightweights, and not to knock our heavyweights, but when you look at the history of our state champions and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, most of them were lightweights. Now we've
Yep.
had state champs at 215 and heavyweight and all that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, I was the first coach here that did have a state champ at heavyweight in one of the upper weights because I mean, but everybody knew if you're wrestling our lightweights, it's good luck. That's the best I can tell you.
Right.
So
Right, right. So you guys you got your win against Harris County, and then you went to Coffee, and a good duel back and forth, and that sort of thing. But that set up, man, a match with Jefferson. And again, one of those situations where I think looking back at the duel, was there a moment that you were like, we're there. We got this. We're going.
so like any team, we go through the lineups, worst case scenario for us, best case scenario for them.
Right.
And I mean, we knew we were going to have to pick up one of the two, 215 or heavyweight. So when we got the pin at heavyweight, because that was that young man's first win of the season.
Oh, was it really?
Yes. So, and I mean,
How huge? How
right. And
huge?
uh and he's only a sophomore, so he's gonna get obviously a lot better, and which is good because I'm hoping some more kids come in because I'm really sick of getting beat on by him. Just working with him and the other coaches too, like because the 215-pounder can only take so much from him.
Sure.
And then at that point in time, it's like, all right, coach, can one of you guys step in? So I go with the lighter guy. But that was huge. And then I mean, we knew the possibility, like with Lee and Bellardo. Bellardo's such a good wrestler.
Mhm.
Obviously, that's one of those that's going to be back and forth every single time you wrestle it.
Right,
Uh, so the
right.
6th, the 13 coming through, and then just watching the guys and they're all battling. I put Austin out there against Russell, who's, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows, but I've seen him wrestle. The kid's an animal.
He
So,
is.
and
Yeah,
Austin was doing everything he could to try to not get pinned. But again, Russell's an animal. And
that's right. That's right.
so, he did what he needed to do for his team. But the guys it was like right there in the middle when 138 and 132 just coming through. That was kind of like, this is going in our favor this year because last year it obviously didn't go in our favor. The
Right.
coin toss, winning the coin toss definitely helped because where we wanted to make our moves, we needed to get, obviously want a choice of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it was
Well, and
exciting. It was
and Rowdy Duck's win, over Kazenko was big. You'd just lost a 1-point match just before that,
right.
which could have gone your direction too. So it's close. But really, honestly, and maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, ultimately, it was AJ Piat who's winning, I think, what, 6-4 or something in the third. And to get that fall
Yes,
was just
was
absolutely important. I mean, just crazy.
right because I mean, obviously, when we're going best case scenario for Jefferson, it's easy to put 6 up. When you go worst case scenario for us, like Jefferson, it's not like, hey, worst case scenario for us, we're gonna get a stick. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yep.
obviously best case scenario. So, and Dominic Haynes was the kid who wrestled last year. What it came down to when I put a freshman Austin MacArthur in. So Dominic Haynes is a good wrestler. So,
He is.
and
Yeah.
he's gonna do his job. So that was kind of where I thought it was going to be sealed at that point in time. And, allowed us to forfeit out the last 3 weight classes because unlike a lot of teams, we're not deep.
Right.
So, you can't get anybody hurt at the state dual
Well,
tournament.
well,
And
and I mean, Dendy, Creed Thomas. I mean, why are we taking those matches where something happens? I mean,
right.
too
And
many
they're
things can
phenomenal
happen.
wrestlers. Right.
Right.
So at that point, I would never in a million years would I've thought that we were going to be able to forfeit out against Jefferson at any point in time. But the boys just said they did what they needed to do.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and you moved on to Ola. Were you surprised to see Ola in the finals instead of Woodland, or?
Uh, no, not necessarily. Like, and I don't want to sound that like a slight against Woodland because
Yeah, no.
we didn't beat Woodland at all this year. And but I honest to God thought Ola was really the favorite coming into the tournament. They were probably the more complete team where they had more moves that they could make.
It sure seemed that
So
way, right?
right, it really did. And so I knew it would be a battle with them. And honest to God, I would have I hate to say it, I would have rather wrestled Woodland because, like I said earlier, Ola had, put it on us during the Christmas holidays in a tournament. Uh, and I knew right through the middle where they were just, I mean, I don't care what you call them, hammers, studs,
Yep.
man killers. They're
Well,
really good.
and again, AJ Piot comes through with an 8-6 sudden victory win, which has got to be just so huge to the momentum
Yeah, that
of
was
the duel.
yeah, it definitely was. And uh the match before, Harrington had Moss on his back,
Yeah.
and that, Moss got injured and, had to take some injury time and all that kind of stuff. But, you had that like, oh, you're going to get this big. And then, he kind of got a letdown because he lost a close one there. So AJ comes through on Redmond, who is, I mean, as fast as you can get pretty much.
Right.
And, squeezes one out there in overtime for us. Then, which really kept the ball rolling in our favor. Again, put Martin out against Papkin, and Papkin, I mean,
Yeah.
Papkin's
Yeah. Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't know if Russell's gonna go 50 or if he's gonna stay 44. But if it is, that's your finals, and it's gonna be interesting if if he stays at 44. But otherwise, I don't really see who's gonna challenge either one of those guys.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about you guys. I think I counted it up. You had like 16 falls go your way. I think you only had 5 go against you. Like, I mean, was that like a mantra that you guys? I mean, we've got to stay off our backs because we just can't afford to give up those sixes.
Right, and that's I mean, that's really kind of been our MO for the past few years. Like, we preach hard in practice about, we talk about pins that we missed during previous matches and all that kind of stuff. And really, it's so important when you get a kid on his back, because sometimes it don't happen very often. We've got to be able to seal the deal right then and there. I used to joke when I first took over and say we were like the United Way of pins because we just kept giving back and kept giving back. And I'm like, guys, I don't, you can be charitable all you want, but
But
that's
not
not the
here.
time. No. So we work hard, obviously, to really fix the mistakes that we make in the previous matches during the regular season there, and to get those guys when it does happen. Because if you get a good kid on his back, you're not gonna, and you don't finish it, you're not gonna get him a second time. It's just not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. So I counted it up. You guys had 7 of 8 wins against Harris County were bonus. You had
Mhm.
6 of 8 wins against Coffee that were bonus. 5 of 7 of your Jefferson wins were bonus. 4 of your 8 wins against Ola were bonus. That to me just seems like the story. That in your 17-3 at your lightweights.
Right. I mean, our pace is high in practice, and the reason because I mean, you got to wear kids out to get them to turn, and that way they're looking for oxygen, and sometimes you need some to help give kids an excuse to get off the mat. So if they're looking for oxygen, sometimes it helps them roll over a little bit more. And now with those teams, that's not usually the case by any
No,
means,
no, right.
but that goes to our training, all year long with them to really try to push their lungs. So
Well, so now um it's such a high. It's I mean, you guys you set out and accomplished what you had in front of you, what you knew you could get done.
right.
How do you make that transition for the kids to say, look, the season's not over. There's still work to do.
So, I mean, obviously, like most teams, we have goals and all that kind of stuff, and this
Right.
was one goal. Yesterday's practice, I mean, yeah, they were excited, still chattery. We had to go outside, take a picture because parents got a sign put out for us. So want to make
Which I'm
sure.
hoping to use as our thing for the front of our conversation. You get our thing. Yeah.
Nice. The but so then we go in, and of course the kids they're all excited. And I was like, hey guys, we talked about the stuff that went on, what we needed to do a little bit better with our, state duels matches. And I said, now you got a big target on your back. I said, so a lot of teams, they'll win one, but they don't win the second one
Hmm.
because they slack up on practice a little bit. And I know they're tired and I know they're sore. So yesterday was a lot of movement trying to burn up some of that lactic acid
Yeah.
and try to
Okay.
get the muscles moving.
Hmm.
Today will be like a heavy live day for us, and then we'll go in for an hour. we'll just literally we'll warm up and then we'll get after it for an hour straight and then we'll go lift to try to, and it's not like it's lightweight for a lot of reps to just help those muscles and tendons and ligaments, try to maintain it for the next few weeks. And then their
Yeah.
body can get a little bit of a rest. And then, we'll come back at it with weight training, trying to put some size and whatnot on the kids and get them ready for postseason stuff with USA, tournaments
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So
So last question, you guys, you finish it off, the exclamation point against Ola. Nobody else is around. You pull all the kids kind of to the side. What'd you tell them?
I mean, honestly, I just congratulated him. I said, nobody thought you guys were gonna win this. Uh and rightfully so. I mean, when you looked at our record, like I said earlier, we were a younger team. I said everybody that thought you could win it was in the stands, your parents and us. And I told him before, I said, hard work doesn't guarantee success whatsoever. So I said, you guys literally, you went out and took it like I told you were going to need to do. Uh, I said, not bad for the region runner-ups going to state champs.
Mm-hmm.
And, and they're all kind of excited with that. I said, but again, enjoy the win. And we've got more to accomplish this season because people now are going to be coming after you because, everybody's got that goal every year of winning the title. You
Yeah.
took something from them. So now they're coming to take something from you.
Well, Coach, congratulations. It was a fantastic run. I actually need to go back through all the history and find out how many region runners up have actually run through and won a state title. I don't know that it happens all that often.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, we've almost done it. Well, we almost did it another time, but we lost on criteria. So,
Right.
And that's days with Gilmer. But yeah, it can't happen very often. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Best of luck to your kids moving forward. I'll see you in Macon. And yeah, I just an outstanding run. Please extend my congratulations to your entire staff and your kids.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, man.